Most disturbing things caught on Ring doorbells. I guess I want to watch that. Why did I say I guess? I pulled it up for a reason, because it's good. Well, I don't know if it's good. But bro, I can't wait to see how scary it will be, quote unquote. Yeah, by the way, so I support Ring doorbells because, bro, you never know what idiotic. You don't know what's gonna happen. Who knows? My voice cracked. It's crazy.
By Jamie Siminoff, and he even appeared on an episode of Shark
What?
Tank. Doorbot was created in 2013 by Jamie Siminoff, and he even appeared on an episode of Shark Tank.
Oh my god,
just
just
a deal from the sharks in front of him. The idea was a doorbell with a camera on it that allows users to see and speak to anyone standing in front of the camera simply by using their phone. They weren't users to see and speak to anyone standing in front of the camera simply by using.
That is no. There's no way he's that bald. There's no way he's that bald. Yeah, no, enough. I move on. I don't want to. He's on an airplane. Okay. Alright, see, this is, and people complain when they watch my reactions videos, by the way, when I post these videos. They're like, oh, you pause too much, you go on random tangents. Yeah, that's why, because, like, but, like, no, seriously, though, how's he on airplane mode and have Wi-Fi? Explain to me that one. Explain to me that one. You can't. And then again, he's bald. Yeah, that just looks like a fake bald. There's no way his forehead is that massive. Enough.
Using their phone. They weren't too fond of the idea, and he ended up walking out with 0 deals. The next year, the company was renamed to Ring, and in 2018, it was acquired by Amazon for approximately $1 billion. And yes, while this is a story of an underdog who appeared on Shark Tank, this product planted a seed for hundreds of millions of events to be caught on camera. And today, we'll be talking about the disturbing ones. From kidnappings to security breaches to clowns carrying weapons to even whatever this is. Today, we'll be talking about the most disturbing things caught on Ring cameras.
I think the thing about it is that the reason why I would want to get a Ring eventually when I get a house is because I want to know if something happens, right? Because, like, imagine, like, I'm sure that some of these that we're going to catch are going to be so crazy. Like the clown one, I can only imagine just how horrible it is to see that on camera. But imagine not knowing there's a clown with a knife that pulled up to your door in the middle of the night. Like, yeah, I mean, if he didn't do anything, that's good. But, like, I'd rather be, like, have knowledge of that than just be, like, not have any knowledge and then randomly just get destroyed. Get 360 no-scoped by a clown outside my house. Obviously, I mean, it's a knife, so there's no scope. Well, actually, well, technically it doesn't have a scope, so it actually applies.
And if you're not subscribed yet, don't even worry about it. I promise I'll earn your subscription by the end of this video. Without further ado, let's get started.
I'm not subscribed to this guy. I've never watched this guy.
Possible kidnapping in Limer Park. This video was captured by a Ring doorbell camera on November 12, 2019. In a clearly desperate call for help, a woman screams and shouts, "Help me, somebody help me." Seemingly unsure about what was going on, the homeowner steps out to the front porch and watches from a distance. Soon after, a vehicle, suspected to be a 4-door white Prius, zooms past with the woman still calling for help until they're out of earshot. And right at the beginning of the video, a man can be heard saying, "I'm sorry," over and over again.
Dang.
This happened in Limer Park, 3800 block of
So are
you at about 11 p.m. And because of the
okay, for some reason I thought the person who walked out of the house was being kidnapped. Because, like, why are you wearing a towel? I don't know.
The chilling nature of the video and how far it traveled through social media, a day later on the 13th, the LAPD opened up an investigation into a possible kidnapping situation. Detectives went and canvassed the area. An officer, Mike Lopez, told the media they couldn't find evidence of a crime, but they were still out there for hours, going door to door, trying to see if any other Ring cameras on the block had captured any additional thing about the incident.
According to there's Ring camera footage, buddy.
Identified as a, quote, female, black with dark braided hair, and she was believed to have been in the front passenger seat of the car. The aggressor in the driver's seat was described as a black male. The police also stated that the witnesses saw her hair being pulled backward as she was screaming. Also that there was a plastic wrap over the front passenger side window, most likely from a previous traffic collision. Some of the neighbors who spoke to news crews also added in how terrifying the whole thing had been.
I know, this is going to be outrageous to say. I don't understand why people, or how your mindset gets to where you kidnap people. Like, it's hard enough for me to talk to strangers, but kidnapping them? That's a whole nother ball game, and I just never could find a reason to ever do that. I mean, obviously these these people probably want to do something sick with them, whether that's, I'm not going into what they're gonna do, but you know, but still, it's like, I don't understand how you can even have the balls to do such a thing. The sad reality is, by the way, is that, you know, you would assume that most people would notice if something's wrong, like with someone, like, oh, if I had something wrong happening to me, people would notice, but they don't. Most people won't because they just don't pay attention to the world like you think people do. Like, if I just randomly collapse on the sidewalk, I don't think many people would notice or, like, stop and be like, are you okay? I mean, you'd hope that people would, but I don't even think that many people would, like, drive by and be like, oh, wow, I'm gonna stop to see this person okay. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I have seen a kid get like literally break his leg while walking across the street, and then a bunch of people like blocked up the entire road to help him. So I do have a little faith in humanity. I will say that. Did I say faith? I think I did, so I'm an idiot, so it's faith.
Strange though is how nobody from the neighbors to the police had no idea what happened. It wasn't even established to if whether or not she was from the area. The police did however ask for anyone with any new information about the incident to come forward, but it looks like no one ever did. The only new development in this case was that officers later identified the car, initially suspected to be a Prius, as a Toyota Matrix, a model between the years
A
2003
Matrix, bro?
and 2008.
I don't know my cars, but that
Actual
seems crazy.
kidnapping in Fort Worth, Texas. In May of 2019, at around
Ooh.
6:30 p.m., a Ring doorbell camera captured this incident where an 8-year-old, Salem Sabaka, gets kidnapped while out on a walk with her mother. As the homeowner walks out to see what's happening, the camera shows the chilling moment when Sabaka is grabbed. Her mother is thrown onto the ground, and in a clearly desperate try, she attempts to run after the car
thought that was the
while
kid.
begging for help from anyone within earshot. This happened in Fort Worth, Texas, and as soon as the authorities were notified, a statewide Amber Alert was issued and an investigation was set up.
By the way, I'm gonna say it. I found out recently you can disable Amber Alerts in your settings. Why do I say this? Because I don't recommend it. Do I recommend it? Because to be honest, I don't get Amber Alerts often, but I think the problem is like most of the like well, yeah, I don't recommend doing it. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. I don't recommend doing it. Never mind. I don't. Because first off, natural disasters exist in most places in the world, so it's like if you decide to be an idiot and turn off your Amber Alert for and a tornado that's like the strongest tornado in the world popped out of nowhere for some reason and hit your area, you'd have no idea. I mean, that's not necessarily true, but anyways, the point is like, let's be honest, I hate to say it, but most of the times when you get an Amber Alert about someone being abducted or a car being stolen, it's like most people are not acting on that, and the people who will actually act on it are the people who are already out. But even then, they'll probably forget in 2 seconds. So I just feel like Amber Alerts are kind of pointless, and they scare you more than anything. At least in my opinion, they're way too scary. But they're scary to get your attention, obviously.
Then, realizing the gravity of the situation, everyone in the neighborhood was happy to join in on the search, with the police circulating a picture and description of the suspect's vehicle, and also sharing the photo of what Sabaka was wearing on that day, including a short description of her. This collective effort soon paid off, because thankfully, just a few hours later, she was found, and the suspect, 51-year-old Michael Webb, arrested. Apparently, Jeff King, a local pastor, together with his friend, had spoken to a detective who told them to search parks and hotels first. At around 2:30 a.m., 8 hours or so after the kidnapping, King found the car, the one the police had shared images of at a nearby hotel.
Yeah, I'm glad to see pastors. You know, pastors are be some of the nicest people you'll ever see. I'm glad that he actually held up to his name.
Miles from where Sabaka had been taken. Armed with a new tip from King, Fort Worth police officers immediately sprang into action and rescued the girl, even sharing footage of the exact moment they got to her. Luckily, she had been unhurt and got reunited with her family, with lots of accolades.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that is so like scary to think about.
This case is that just a few hours before King had found the suspect's car parked at the hotel, the police had apparently visited the same hotel, spoke to that man, and had found nothing. Anyway, Webb got sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. It also turned out that he had an extensive criminal history, having been charged in 14 crimes that happened either in Smith or Gregg counties since the mid-1980s. Among others, these crimes include burglary, evading arrest, making terror-like threats, and even
evading arrest. I'm just gonna say it now. Every time I've ever seen, I mean, obviously I see these. Every time I see basically people getting, you know, arrested, they always try to run away. And my thought process is, if you think at all that you can run away from the police and get away with it, you're delusional. They're gonna find you. at some point. And the other thing is, I mean, not always. I mean, it depends on the situation. Because obviously, like, if you just borrowed someone's rental car, no, if you have a rental car, they'll figure you out. If you borrowed like your friend's car, right, even then they'll figure you out because no, like, there's really no situation where you can run away from the police and never get caught. But even then, it's like if you have severe crimes, why add another charge to your little sentence? You just make it look harder to not get prison time. Like, if you're trying to not get prison time, do not run away from the police or just like resist arrest. But always people do it. They always do it, and it just pisses me off. Like, are you idiots? Are you delusional? You really think you're gonna escape from the police and live a life? No. No, no, no.
Assaulting a woman using a knife in 2018, though for that assault crime, he had been let go since the victim failed to show up in court several times. Now, while the girl Sabaka was found, as Richard Vance, a Smith County prosecutor, said, it's unimaginable the sort of pain she was put through, even with those hours with that random man. 8-year-old's Ring camera hacked. In what would absolutely be a nightmare to any parent, in December 2019, a Ring camera owned by a Mississippi family captured this video where a strange man hacks into the camera, situated in their daughter's room, and starts taunting her, even encouraging her to do destructive stuff. The first thing that is heard is creepy music. It was Tiny Tim's rendition of Through the Tulips. You know, tiptoe through the tulips. Yeah, that creepy song. That's what this dude was playing through the kid's Ring camera. He also started playing some banging noises. Alyssa LeMay, the daughter, confused as to where the sound is coming from, is seen trying to look around. She'd been in the hallway and would later explain that coming to the bedroom, she thought it was her sister making these strange noises, but then that was far from it. This is what could be heard coming from the Ring speaker.
Who is that? I'm your best friend.
Oh.
I'm Santa Claus.
Okay. I'm sorry for laughing. I should not laugh at that because, I mean, this is horrible, but I'm sorry. What? Are you stupid? This guy is literally just like, I'm Santa Claus. Like, what? What are you, like, what does that accomplish by saying that at all? I don't know.
I'm Santa Claus. Don't you want to be my best friend?
Terrified, she calls out,
What?
who is that? And the guy watching her responds with, I'm your best friend, Santa Claus. This obviously spooks Alyssa even further as she now calls for her mom. The voice continues taunting her about being Santa Claus before trying to get her to do things. Specifically, he said, what's the secret word? And then he says, say the N-word with a hard R. So, that just tells you the type of kid that fucking hacked into the camera, man. You would think...
Yeah,
man,
what?
It's just so...
This is such a weird situation. I was more thinking like, oh, this would be horrible because like, if he has access to the camera, he can see when like the girl changes, which is obviously horrible. But no, this guy just decides to talk to her and say dumb stuff. Like, bro. I mean, to be fair, we don't know how long it was hacked for, but still, that's, I mean, like if I was a hacker in that situation and I was demented like he is, clearly, I would try to like, I wouldn't just make my presence known. Like, this guy's weird and just makes his presence known like an idiot. I don't know. I don't understand the process.
Predictable. Yeah, let's keep going. Luckily, before the 5-minute long ordeal could go any further, her dad, who had been in the house, intervened, taking off the batteries from the camera. Later explaining the incident to the media, Alyssa's mom, Ashley LeMay, said it had been distressing even watching back the video. She had a gut feeling that the hacker could have been someone who knew the family or was at least very close by. Ashley also admitted that they had not put on two-factor authentication for their accounts. Ring ended up investigating the situation and confirmed that this wasn't a compromise on Ring security or a data breach. Instead, it was likely the result of a weak password and weak security measures on the family's part. But yeah, if you were listening to this story...
I'm not even surprised. I feel like most Americans probably have horrible passwords. Because there's a lot of... Like, I have a friend, for example, who puts all his passwords for everything into a Discord server. Like, just, like, things like that, it's like, oh my god. Like, are we stupid? And then I know people who have no clue what their passwords are for anything, or they write their passwords down in a Word document, or oh, I'm gonna write it in notes. Like, no. It's like the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to, well, the way I think is the best is use 1Password. If I ever got sponsored by 1Password, I'd be the happiest man in the world. But I don't get sponsors anyways, so whatever.
and we're like, oh my god, I have a Ring camera, it could get hacked. It's like, no, I mean, just have a good password, have two-factor authentication, and don't share your passwords. Change your password every, I don't know, 6 months. Yeah, no one's gonna hack into your camera and tell you to say the N-word or the hard R, or tell you they're Santa Claus or something like that. But still, it was a rather unnerving incident, especially for an 8-year-old girl.
Of course.
Hey guys, Tough from the future here. I'm currently sick. I don't know if you could tell. Actually, no, you can't tell because I'm super cool. But I just want to let you guys know, make sure to leave a like. This is my reminder.
This guy, by the way, I should start doing this, but I always hate it. This is one of those situations where people ask me, why don't you ever like ask people to subscribe? Why don't you ask people to like? And the reason why is because as a viewer, it's incredibly frustrating to have that happen in a video, right? So I don't know, but like at the same time, it actually works. So I don't blame this guy for doing this, but there's a reason why this is most replayed. No, that's not actually. So he probably says something here. I don't know. Maybe something interesting happens. Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Again via pretend DoorDash. In a very recent disturbing incident in March of 2023, a Ring camera captured a couple of people attempting to invade a home in Montgomery County by using food delivery as a leeway. As seen here, a woman pretends to be a DoorDash delivery driver and repeatedly knocks on the door of the home, which is located in the Harmony subdivision area. She looks like she's trying to see something on her phone and then goes back to knocking, even attempting to peek inside the house. All this while 4 people try to break in through the backyard, and they can be seen running across the yard at some point. Now, fake delivery burglaries are already scary by themselves, but what's really creepy about the situation is that the woman in the video was lingering around the home for about 40 minutes from 1:20 a.m. to 2 a.m. The person inside the
Oh
home...
my god, they are so stupid. Oh my god, I mean, it's not stupid at all. It actually would work. I think the weirdest part is that like if it's 1 or 2 a.m., most people are gonna be stupidly. Why did I say stupid? They're gonna be dead asleep, right? So then it's like, well, why are you just making it so they wake up and get distracted when they literally could just not wake up at all in the first place? And the other thing is too is like, bro, if you're staying there for 40 minutes, it looks stupidly suspicious. I don't know. I don't know. And also who orders food at 1 a.m.? I don't know. It's just everything about that seems suspicious. Like if I woke up at 1 a.m. to someone knocking on the door and I looked out and saw someone pretending to like give me or acted like, oh, here's your food, I'd be like, no, you're delusional.
The homeowner's sister-in-law later told the media that it had been just her and her nephew inside, and they even heard the commotion outside while the whole thing was going on. She was also able to identify the female suspect as having a large flower tattoo on her right thigh and a floral one on her wrist too. This can be seen on the Ring camera as well. Now, while the group apparently caused some damage to the external part of the home, they never managed to get in, and witnesses said they drove off in a dark-colored sedan. The homeowner's sister-in-law also emphasized that while the thieves didn't take anything, they sure took away the peace and sense of security that had been there before.
Of course.
The incident also left neighbors spooked, particularly because this was set up as a DoorDash delivery. One resident explained that everyone in the area loves using DoorDash. The sentiment there is that there's truly no way of knowing who you're going to open your door to if you're expecting a delivery.
I think when thieves will peek is when they're able to track when someone gets a DoorDash and then they're able to go to the house and act like the DoorDash. Or actually no, you know what thieves really would peek is when they're actually thieves who work at DoorDash and as DoorDash drivers and they deliver food and then they rob. Who knows?
Driver, and even the police recognized that, as they advised no one should open their door to any delivery service unless they were expecting such a service. The police also mentioned that legitimate DoorDash drivers would have no problem leaving the food outside, with no need to open the door. Scary clowns. Alright, so if I'm going to talk about these clowns, I feel like I should mention that this was part of the 2016
Yeah, I remember that. That was classic.
2016, I was freshman year in high school. In 2016...
Yeah, when I was in 2016, bro. Wait, what? No way. I was in 6th grade, and Fortnite came out in 2016? Ooh, wait a second. 16. How old am I? I'm 18, right? Okay, so let's do some basic math. I don't know why it's so complicated for me. Alright, so 8, well, okay, 24, that's 6. No, it is not. It's 8. And that means I was 10, so I was in 5th grade. But I remember, okay, I don't know. The point is, I remember the whole clown thing happening during sixth grade when I was in sixth grade. I also remember Fortnite came out when it came out in sixth grade. Sixth grade was a huge eventful moment in life because a lot of things happened. It came out. I mean, I never watched it, but it doesn't matter. I read the book. Okay, why am I telling you this? I don't know. Oh my god, my chair's creaking like crazy, town.
I was leaving middle school, entering high school, and I remember this. I remember it clear as day. Y'all, I'm 22, all right? I'm not that old. I'm not old, bro. 22 is not old. 22 is not old, bro. Y'all gonna call me old head. It's because y'all like 15 and shit. Whatever. That's not the point. That's not the point of this. Hey, all my 20-year-olds, let me know in the comments y'all watch me, because I have faith that I have an older audience. 20-year-old, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, whatever. I know y'all watch me. Please let me know. Anyway, so basically, it was kind of like a trend. It was one of the weirdest trends, actually, where people would dress up in these clown costumes. I'm pretty sure it was October 2016, and literally just wait to be taken pictures of or make people run away from them. I mean,
well, I think the problem was that there was all these stories of everywhere where clowns were just being creepy, going up to do doorbells and whatnot, and being weird. I remember some kid claimed in my school back in the day where he got abducted by a clown. I really don't believe that. He's like, oh, I just went outside and a clown abducted me. I was like, bro, how are you here? Like, I don't know. I don't believe that story at all. But, you know, things like that. It's just like, that added to a huge fear factor. And now, ever since then, people just immediately hate clowns. I think most people already were not a fan of clowns. But now it's like, you know, more severe. I think the reason why it happened, by the way, I think it's because of the movie It, but I'm not 100% sure.
It was really it. It was kind of risky on your end if you wanna. Oh, I'm gonna dress up as a clown. It's like you are risking getting beat up by someone who wants to impress a group of girls or something.
That's not true.
That was.
I'm sorry. It's just not true. I hate that pausing all this, but basically, my take on it is like, bro, I feel like if you dress as a clown, you're automatically making yourself look like someone who's evil. People are instantly going to be suspicious of you and run away and call the cops. So you're basically making it easier for you to go to jail. You're speedrunning jail in a way. And not really, it's a bad speedrun, but still a speedrun nonetheless.
I wanted to mention that. Clowns can be lovely, but as captured by this Ring camera in Toledo, Ohio,
I mean, yeah, that clown is diabolical.
Or rather, pretend clowns can be pretty creepy too. This happened back in November of 2016, and as seen in the video, a clown approaches what looks like a front door while donning a zombie-like walking style. Even scarier is that they're carrying something that looks like a machete, which they hold up in full view of the camera.
Yeah, but he's holding it so stupidly, it makes me angry.
Around, then rings the bell, and disappears back into the darkness of the night. Not many details are available for this incident, which sort of makes it even creepier. Like I said before,
I mean, that guy's just, that's the thing, like, some of these people just want to scare you
young
for
adult
fun.
Playing a joke on someone. I would hope it wasn't actually a murderer who's the new clown killer or something. Now, this is just one incident that was captured on camera, but I also have another one to show you. Yes, it's also another clown caught on the Ring camera, but I would say this is a little creepier because this is just breaking into someone's house with an actual weapon. So this one took place in a home in
clown
Texas.
broke in.
It was peeping into windows and trying to open doors. The video first appeared on LiveLeak with the original poster attaching the caption, "This morning I noticed my gate was open. I checked my surveillance cameras and found someone in a clown costume was trying to get into my house.
Oh wow.
I'm sure we would all be dead today if he was able to get in." This happened at around 2:25 a.m. and just as in the first video, the clown here is carrying a weapon, a knife, that is clearly visible to the camera. They tried the first door before walking around and trying a different door, then a gate which opens, and then more doors. The clips of course spread fast due to its creepy nature, and while some dismissed it as a staged thing, media reported that it was something that law enforcement was taking seriously given the clown menace that had been experienced at the time, including where a couple of clowns in Greenville County, South Carolina, had tried to lure children into the woods by offering them large sums of money. The clown trend had begun as sort of a joke, but then turned into a whole thing where clowns were chasing people with knives and machetes, brandishing guns, and
how do you have the balls to go to someone's house at 2:30 in the a.m.? Okay, why did I say it like that? 2:30 a.m. and like walk around and try to open doors. Like that's just the next level of just balls.
Other similar bizarre things, including hanging around in graveyards and remote roadsides. Like I said before, this has to probably be one of the dumbest trends. It's almost like wearing a t-shirt that just says "shoot me." It's just like, what is the goal here? Like, you don't even get clout from it. They didn't even have like their @ on their shirt or anything. Follow me on Instagram. Like, it was so random.
Bro thinks people are like actually normal.
that trend when it was going on, but the next one we're about to talk about might actually be a little weirder, though less disturbing. Let's head on to that one. Fake kidnapping in Albuquerque. On the night of June 14, 2022, this video was captured by a Ring camera. Initially, people thought what they were seeing was a 10-year-old kid being chased and beaten by a group of adults, but that would all soon change. We'll come back to that, but first, right as the car pulls over, the victim can be heard saying, "I'm only 10, several times, as they get chased around. And as they run, they can be heard saying, "I have to go home to my parents." That was of course alarming, and the video quickly got shared around. First appearing on Neighbors by Ring, which is just Ring's community app where people can share things that are going on in their community, and they can provide their Ring footage, or they don't have to, they could just type out anything. Either way, it's a community app for the community. The original poster on Neighbors was sort of asking if anyone was missing a 10-year-old and stating that they had captured them getting beat by several people in the Coulter and Washington area. Following the uproar, the Albuquerque Police Department got involved and began investigating, starting off by requesting the public for information about the two cars. One, a red or orange hatchback or SUV, and the other, a 1990s black BMW. After that, it wasn't long before they arrested 31-year-old Sharian Flores for faking a kidnapping situation. Yes, what everyone thought was a 10-year-old boy was actually a 31-year-old woman. And not just that, it turns out that Flores was a wanted person. There were warrants out for her arrest over attempted
Oh my god, she's got, oh my god, look, oh, go back.
It turns out,
look at this, this is everything, like everything you can get basically. Theft of identity, possession of credit card stolen, resisting an officer, shoplifting, concealing identity, trespass, forgery, assault, battery. Oh my god, a failure to appear in court. That's a lot of stuff. I mean, at this point, you're playing GTA. Like, what?
That Flores was a wanted person. There were warrants out for her arrest over attempted
oh my god, more stuff?
And an assault against a teenager. These things apparently happened before what could be seen in the Ring video. And even worse, her criminal history was quite extensive, going as far back as 15 years and including things like shoplifting, car theft, drug possession, and aggravated assault. Anyway, what had given her away?
Okay, so this is like the situation where it's like, how is that person roaming the streets freely? Explain to me that one. Because it doesn't seem like they should be roaming the streets. I mean, they literally have like 2 or 3 of every single charge. Like, that's not something that a normal civilian should have. It's the problem with the system, though. I mean, obviously, it is potential that they're actually, like, the police are looking for that person, but like, I highly doubt it. Who knows, though? Because otherwise, they would have been caught already, in my opinion, at least. But who knows?
Police. Well, a witness that saw the video told the police that they knew Flores and they were pretty confident that was her in the video. Now, in addition to all of that, and maybe justifiably, the police received quite some heat for their slow response to the whole thing. Why? Well, David Davidson, the guy who called 911 about it, and also complained that help didn't come until after several hours, didn't know that what he was watching on his Ring camera wasn't a real 10-year-old in danger. To him, it was just a case of the Albuquerque Police Department refusing to prioritize a case involving a child screaming at the top of their lungs. A pretty bizarre incident overall.
Okay, so you're not gonna explain how it's fake? What? Okay, I mean, it's, oh my god, there's something on my monitor, bro. There's like this, like, stupid, I don't know what it is. I got rid of it. Okay.
Vintage TV sets.
Oh no, why are you not gonna explain? Like, bro, oh yeah, I've seen this.
There was a time when a neighborhood just outside Richmond, Virginia, was at the center of a peculiar and honestly kind of funny ordeal. As captured in this Ring camera video, a man is seen walking up to a porch and leaving an old TV. All the while, he's wearing a TV on his head, and it's clear that he can see through it as he's able to walk up and down the steps leading to the porch. He places the TV down, then walks out, and disappears into the night, wearing the same blue attire, which looks like a uniform. He did the same thing across several homes in the neighborhood. He waves to the Ring camera. This also means that he for sure knew he was getting recorded by different cameras all over people's doors, but wasn't fazed by that at all. Now, while leaving just 1 or 2 TV sets could have been pretty funny, this guy went the extra mile, and within about a week, he left about 60 TVs on 60 different homes.
That's a lot of
money.
This
caused a lot of confusion among the residents of the Gray Oak subdivision in the Glen Allen neighborhood. One neighbor, Robin Shore, who received a Toshiba FST black stripe TV made back in 1986, did for instance,
19
think that
what? 19 what?
FST Blackstripe TV, made back in 1986, did for instance
Oh, it's not
think that
old.
Amazon had just gotten lazy with their delivery to her husband. She thought her husband ordered a TV online and they just didn't bother to properly box it. However, through the neighborhood online group, she soon realized their home wasn't the only one with such a TV. And unsure about what was going on, the speculation became that those TV sets were Trojan horses that could cause some sort of harm if allowed into the home. Some even opted to open them up and check if anything fishy was going on. Anyway, soon the police got involved and confiscated almost all of the TVs. However, without one, knowing who this man was, and two, not knowing a clear motivation, they couldn't charge him with any criminal offenses. It's just a random dude giving out old TVs while wearing a TV on his head. Just
yeah,
really,
I mean, I don't know what that guy's thinking.
A funny, weird incident.
It's not even that
The
creepy,
3-hour doorbell lick.
Oh,
Ring
yeah, I've
doorbells
seen this as
capture
well.
a lot, but probably top among the most disturbing ones is this one. This is a video from Salinas, California.
3 hours?
Where a
Oh, I
man was
hate watching
captured
this.
licking
Ooh.
a doorbell for an entire 3 hours, as clearly seen in the shared clip.
Bro doesn't, like, I just... Oh, I mean, there's a lot wrong with this guy. He's probably on drugs, to be honest. It's the obvious thing. There's no way he's not on drugs. He's... No, but like 3 hours of that, and also the fact of how much bacteria is on there, I just no.
The incident,
I mean, like a
man,
rogue
later
little,
identified
I don't know,
as
rogue
Roberto
little
Daniel
mosquito
Arroyo,
can get in his
simply
mouth.
leans on the wall and sort of
I don't know why I'm
slithers his
thinking like
tongue
that.
on the doorbell while staring directly at the Ring camera in front of him. Even weirder, the homeowner, Sylvia Dungan, said that the man was relieving himself. She also said that she wasn't home at the time, but her kids were. The family had just installed the security system, and being a modern one, it had the feature to notify them when someone was around the front porch. So, on that Saturday, while her kids were not woken up by the noises, Duncan said she got a lot of notifications about someone being at the door, which was weird because it was about 5 in the morning, and the only person who could have been there, her son, who probably had worked night shifts, never used to get home until 6 in the morning. All that prompted her to go on and check the footage from that morning, and that's of course when she saw the bizarre incident. She also didn't think the incident really caused any harm, despite it being incredibly weird. She admitted that they kind of laughed about it afterward.
Why would you
as
touch
Arroyo, the guy, didn't break anything or harm anybody. They did, however, thoroughly clean the doorbell after.
Okay, good.
Now, according to Miguel Cabrera, the Salinas police spokesperson, the department was pleasantly surprised at how clear the image quality was on the Ring camera, so it didn't take long to identify the culprit. He went on to be charged with petty theft and prowling. Overall, a very strange thing to be captured on a security camera.
And prowling?
Now,
That's a
incident that I
charge,
just
bro?
described happened in January of 2019, and it seems like he inspired someone, because barely a month later, this video was captured by another Ring camera. So this is yet another man licking a doorbell, only this time it was at a home in Lake Worth, Florida. This happened at around 6 a.m., and as can be seen in the video, the man leans over several times licking the doorbell camera, and then starts pointing at different sections of what looks like a newspaper that he's holding. According to the homeowner, who had been in bed at the time, she got a notification on her iPad that someone was at the front door, and that's how she ended up checking to see what was going on. In a surprising twist though, while the man's behavior was strange, he wasn't a stranger to the neighborhood. The homeowner apparently recognized the man because he used to live there, in the neighborhood, before becoming homeless. He was apparently said to have been suffering from some mental health problems. Edgar Morley, a local public information officer, also added that this man was someone encountered by the police, quote, on a frequent basis.
Stop.
He admitted to having been at the residence and said that the owners were his friends. He thus never got charged with anything, although that could also be because, according to Morley, the public information officer, Florida, while a weird place, doesn't have any doorbell licking laws. And as for the homeowner, they thought it was a really good investment because, quote, you never know who may be licking your doorbell. So if you guys are considering buying a Ring camera, don't buy it for your safety or your protection, your privacy. Ew, who cares about that? Try to get one in order to catch people licking your doorbell. Let's on to the next one.
I feel like at this point, it's just like, this is all just evidence that, hey, if you have a Ring doorbell, that people are weird, they're just going to show up because they want to show up in your feed, I guess. I don't really know.
Just keeps showing
There's no
up.
way these people
Showing
just
up
do
at someone's
this
house carrying an
normally.
assault rifle is definitely scary, but so is simply being a creep and non-stop showing up at a random person's house, especially pretending to be your part of social services. This is something that was captured by a Ring camera in Sacramento, California, where a man showed up at a home several times, including at night, claiming to be from social services and demanding to be let in. In one of the videos, he can
things like this
be
make
heard
me
saying he's
scared.
with social services, while in another, he claims that he can hear a child crying, a baby.
Why is the carrying orange juice?
claiming he's from social services.
Yeah, I'm on social services.
And asking the homeowner to let him come check on children inside the home.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I hear it.
All that to be allowed to come in. In one of the videos, the woman inside can be heard telling him to leave and notifying him that she's calling the cops. Now, more detailed reports
Okay,
of
yeah,
this
there's no
incident
reason to be scared of that
just
guy.
how
He's
weird
weird.
and scary the situation was.
Oh, never mind,
For
it gets
instance,
scary.
the man had come to the home about 4 times in just a few prior weeks. Then, all these times, it had been just a woman and her 4 kids inside, as the woman's husband would be away. Also, all these 4 times, the woman had apparently called 911, and while the police responded, the man had not been arrested or even issued a citation. According to her, it seemed like the man knew she was alone in the house and had no way of protecting herself. Also, strangely, when asked by a reporter why he kept going over to the
There's a
woman's
stalking
house, the man just said that he never intended to irritate them, but rather to see if they were okay. This was, of course, despite the police warning him not to do
Yeah,
so.
bro's on drugs
Anyway,
or delusional.
commenting on the situation,
Probably a
Mark
combination of
Reichel,
both.
an attorney in Sacramento, told the media that the man indeed was breaking state law around harassment, and in any case the woman filed a civil harassment order, a judge would grant it. The justification would be that his creepy behavior was repeated annoyance and disturbing
I still don't
her,
get why he
and it
brought
was
orange
also a
juice.
pattern
That
was
doesn't even make
predictable.
sense.
The infamous police chase in Portsmouth. In May of 2022, a Ring doorbell in the Columbia Street area of Portsmouth captured this video of an active police chase. Right at the beginning of the video, you can see a gray pickup truck rush by, then a black one follows, then a gray crossover, and finally a full-size SUV. All this is before the homeowner then steps out to check what's going on. Of course, the first vehicle is the suspect, and the rest were officers from the fugitive unit of Chesapeake.
Oh, wow,
Sheriff's
okay, so they're
Department,
all
who had
driving
apparently been on
different
the lookout
cars?
for the suspect for crimes done a day prior. It turns out that the whole thing had begun when the police got calls about a suspicious male that was apparently checking car windows. When they arrived at the scene and tried
Okay,
to
I'm not gonna lie. I know someone who does that, actually, and that's because he wants to see the inside. Like, ooh, I want to see the inside, because, like, be like, oh, I want to see the interior, and be like, and gets excited. I'm like, okay.
stop him in an
And
arguably
that's, like,
dangerous move.
I mean, so that's very possible. That's the situation that is happening. But obviously that's not the case. I mean, most people don't get excited about interiors and start looking through the windows.
He fired at them and took off. The officers had not fired back, and
Oh,
luckily
whoa,
no one
whoa.
got
Okay,
injured.
yep,
An
yep, he's guilty.
investigation was then quickly set up, and it uncovered that the suspect was 31-year-old Harold Crowder, a resident of Chesapeake. Now, this first incident where Crowder fired at officers had occurred at about 9:51 p.m. and prompted an active search for him. This was fruitful because the next day, in a second incident, at about 2:21 p.m. in the Deep Creek Boulevard area of Portsmouth, police saw him in the same Toyota Tundra truck that he'd been driving the day before. That's actually when a chase began, with Crowder hitting and damaging a vehicle in the process, but
yep.
still refusing to stop. He eventually got
And as per usual, like I said earlier, this idiot decides to run away because he thinks he can get away from the police, but let me tell you, you can't. Because guess what? Like, he probably thought the first time after he got away the first time, I'm never gonna get caught again, bro. Well, they're just gonna remember. Like, if they see your license plate and they run it, like, they're gonna see that you have, like, you're wanted. Like, you can't use the same car. Like, these people don't think. They don't think at all. Like, since now you're adding an extra charge to something so minor, and obviously the whole situation is minor, so I highly doubt he's gonna go for jail for long, but still. I mean, it's like, bro, why add more to your charge?
caught after crashing the Tundra, which
Don't
was
get
stolen
it.
at the 3900 block
Oh,
in Columbia Street
stolen.
in
Oh,
Portsmouth.
well, never
He also
mind. It's
did
not
try to
minor
flee on
anymore.
foot after that, but the police quickly caught him. So, this Ring video of him zooming past the house simply captured the near-end bit of the chase. What's also interesting is that according to Mike Van Rom, the homeowner, he'd been watching TV when he heard a commotion outside and got up to check it out. After seeing what just happened, he immediately felt thankful not only because Crowder was caught, but also because he hadn't hit his car in the process. According to him, as luck would have it, he had parked the car closer to his house than usual. He'd often park further down the driveway where Crowder zoomed past.
Okay, but we're acting like the guy wouldn't just drive around your car. He's not even going that fast. Like, okay, really? Sorry.
Wreath thieves. It's disturbing how even with Ring cameras all over the place, thieves sometimes seem undeterred. That can be seen in this video where a woman is seen taking off with a wreath from a house in the Alamo Heights community in Texas.
Why?
She simply takes it off the door almost carefully as if to not damage it, then rushes off to a waiting car, and then the car drives away. According to the homeowner who spoke to the media, this happened at around 2:20 in the morning, and they immediately took action, reporting it to the police, and having it circulated on several neighborhood blogs. The wreath was apparently valued at $300, and interestingly, it was part of an annual tradition that the community has in the fall season, where the neighbors go all out with elaborate decorations to bring
$300? Why? Why? Okay, yeah, I don't know why. How is it worth? How is it worth $300? Explain to me how it's worth $300. You can't.
Spirits to their homes.
The
Now,
leaves are golden.
Are kind of a hot commodity to steal because in 2021, in a very similar video, similar in terms of sheer boldness, a similar event surfaced on the internet. A Ring camera captured a woman stealing a wreath from her neighbor and then topping it off by stealing a mat from a different neighbor.
What?
Woman rings bells, then vanishes.
I don't get it.
Alright, so I already spoke about this in a previous video. I think it was the CCTV footage video I made like maybe last year or 2 years ago, but I'll still speak about this story again just to get it out there and hopefully remind people that cases like this exist. On August 23, 2018, at around 3:30 a.m., a half-naked woman wearing just a t-shirt went around homes in the Sunrise Ranch subdivision area of Montgomery County, ringing doorbells. As seen in this video from one of the Ring cameras, she walks up to the door and rings the bell, seeming like she's in need of help. She apparently did that to a couple of...
What is in the middle of the camera, by the way? Is that a wall? No, there's no way it's a wall.
And due to the confusion that this caused, and the fact that no neighbor properly identified her, an investigation got launched with lots of people from other areas across the country trying to send in missing person posters, hoping that it was someone they had been looking for. Going back to the video, it's clear she has some sort of hand restraints hanging from her wrist. The assumption had been that these were regular handcuffs, but they were later confirmed to be handcuffs for adult play. Now, initially, this woman remained unidentified and seemed like she just vanished into thin air. But that was until deputies found 49-year-old Dennis.
Okay, there's no need to zoom in his forehead.
House. This was a couple of days later after the woman had been seen on the Ring videos, and it turned out that she was connected to Collins. Officers said that inside the home, they found items that matched what could be seen on the doorbell videos, and through that, they were able to locate her and get in touch. In short, what had happened was that Collins had threatened to commit and may have contacted his ex-girlfriend. This ex-girlfriend then requested a welfare check on him, but by the time deputies had gotten there, it was too late. As for the woman in the video, it's possible she was seeking help due to domestic violence, as that was the stance by the police. Specifically, they believe she had been unlawfully restrained and sexually assaulted by Collins. Inside Collins' home, there was a suicide note that connected the woman to him.
And surprisingly, that's somewhat common too.
Further solidifying their theory. Now, her story was that she broke free from Collins, rang about 2 doorbells, then returned home before driving to her relatives in Dallas-Fort Worth. This is where she was when police had contacted her. Anyway, this is overall a very disturbing incident, especially considering that Collins had a prior criminal history, having been convicted of sexual in 2000, for which he got probation.
2000.
Interestingly, the sheriff's office said that, based on the Ring video, their intention had been to investigate him for kidnapping, unlawful restraint, and sexual assault. Followed home. Being followed home is
alright. Yeah, this one's probably gonna be the scariest. Out of all of them, I guarantee it's gonna be the worst. I hate watching this stuff because it always reminds you of like what could possibly happen. I've seen enough clips of people getting followed and then closing the door at the last second. If that ever happens to me, I think I might die from a heart attack.
A traumatizing experience, but when a gun is involved, this escalates a whole lot more. On July 15th, 2022, a Ring camera at a home in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, captured such an incident.
Oh my god, there was so much wrong. Why is his pants sagging that deeply? Like, there's a point where it's just like, I never understood the trend for saggy pants. I never thought it looked cool. But dude, like that belt is doing absolutely nothing. Why wear a belt, first off? And second off, you're literally, your underwear, the whole underwear is showing. Not even like, just nothing about that looks, it's just so stupid. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand, and all it takes is for someone to just like mess around with you and slightly pull down your pants, and now, oh, suddenly your whole entire Pants are gone.
Is
Like,
seen approaching
damn.
the home with a drawn gun before
Anyways.
fleeing. It turns out that the two suspects
looks like
in the
he fired a
video,
shot,
the
by
male
the
with the
way.
gun and the woman behind him, had followed the couple as they were walking home and did so all the way to their front door. The male suspect had suddenly drawn the gun and pointed it at their faces, but the couple were quick to react as they just quickly got in their home and slammed the door shut. In the video, this is where you can see the suspects retreat back to the silver SUV.
See, it sounded like I heard the sound of what I thought was the gun, but no, it
and
wasn't.
take off. Definitely a really close shave, with even the Wheat Ridge Police Department stating that there was no knowing what might have happened had the couple not closed the door. Now, even weirder is that about 5 minutes later, that same suspect actually robbed someone else. A man loading up his vehicle just about
that
half
was
a
their
mile from the
intention.
first incident. The same SUV was placed at the scene, and the suspects were still wearing the wigs or costumes, whatever they were wearing. And luckily, even with this attempted disguise, the police said that the suspects' faces could clearly be seen, and it was only a matter of time before they got apprehended. This was back in 2022 though, and there hasn't really been an update on the situation. For context, there probably was an update, but people just didn't update the internet about it. Now, in a very similar incident about 2 years earlier, in 2020 to be exact, in the Reynolds Walk neighborhood of North Carolina, a Ring camera captured a moment when suspects, two men, had been hiding near a home and tried to break in.
Oh, that was way too
following
fast.
A woman. According to the homeowner, she had arrived home with her kids first, with her sister being expected to also arrive after a while. When she did, the homeowner went to let her inside the front door, and a split second after the door was shut behind her, the camera recorded a man in a red jacket trying to force his way in. An even scarier part is that neither the homeowner nor the sister had been aware of what was going on until they heard sounds.
Yeah,
that
look at
described
those people, bro. They were like hiding, like secret. Oh, nah. That's scary because there's no way of knowing. I mean, unless you're a very attentive neighbor or just person in general, you wouldn't notice that there was a car there.
as boom boom boom. They immediately went upstairs to check the cameras, and that's when they saw two men with a gun outside. From the footage, it's clear that noticing that he couldn't get in, the man takes off shouting, "I got locked out," several times to his accomplice. The Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department was notified, with the homeowner admitting that maybe if they hadn't locked the door in time, she and her children could have
Oh my god, yeah, oh my god. Do you know how many times I walk into the house and slow to lock the door? Oh my god. Like, oh my god, that's crazy, because if they locked the door instantly, but if they didn't, bro, it'd be over for them. Like, oh my god.
probably died
I
that
can
night.
imagine that happening to me.
One man appears to drop something in the front yard, then rush back to pick it up.
Man with rifle at 4 a.m. So we all know
jeez.
Florida is full of Florida men. Well, in 2018, in the Boca Raton area, a Ring camera captured
Why is
this
that
clip
guy
of a
walking
man
like
ringing
that?
what turned out to be a neighbor's doorbell in the dead of the night. The man, who it's clearly visible that he's carrying an assault rifle and wearing a bulletproof vest, sort of staggers into the front porch of the home
he's drunk.
before
Okay.
coming all the way up to the doorbell and ringing it. He then immediately walks away and disappears into the night. Now, this is obviously a really scary incident, and according to the homeowner, she and her two children hid in the bathroom once they saw the man on the security camera. Her husband wasn't home at the time. He was away on a business trip. The woman thus called her husband and the police, and it took about 25 minutes for the police to arrive. And for what he did, the man faced aggravated assault charges. It also came up that the
Wow.
man's daughter had recently stayed at that house because she was afraid of her father. So it seems like the families knew each other.
Oh,
Lingering on the
okay.
porch for 6 hours.
Okay,
Hanging
yeah, that's diabolical. I'm sorry, that is
around
diabolical.
someone's porch
6
for
hours?
may not be as bad as licking someone's doorbell for 3 hours. But it's definitely creepy. This is exactly what was recorded by a Ring camera at an Albuquerque, New Mexico home in April of 2020. The video shows a
okay,
man lingering
okay,
on the
ask
porch,
questions.
pacing around, smoking what looks like a cigarette, lurking by the garage, and even stranger, dropping his pants, slightly exposing his butt to the camera. According to the homeowner, Maris Lopez,
This
the
guy was
family
doing this at night.
had not been
That's-
aware the whole thing
If
happened
it was
until
during
the
day,
next
I'd be like,
day when
okay,
she was
maybe
clearing
I
videos from the
could
doorbell
understand, but
camera.
at night,
She was
that's
shocked to see
so
that the man had
weird.
arrived around midnight, walked through the front yard gravel rather than the paved path, and simply set camp at her porch with his backpack. The man had apparently not left until around 6 a.m.,
He's
which is
wearing
when
a
the family
mask.
woke up and turned on the light.
And of course, he's wearing the mask wrong. Oh my god. I'm not even a big mask wearer back in the day. I didn't care that deeply, but like, bro, it's like if you're gonna wear a mask, wear it right. Like, bro, this guy, the people who never cover their nose are always the people that piss me off, because it's like, don't wear it. You might as well not wear it. Like, why? Why are you wearing it? You look like an idiot. You're wearing it wrong. Fix yourself, you know? But no, so many people do this anyways.
Lopez, the homeowner, when
know.
talking to the media, said that while there was no interaction with the man, she felt disturbed, especially given he had at one point peeked into her son's bedroom. Terrified, she reported the matter to the Albuquerque Police Department and shared her experience on social media. This is when she also learned that the man had apparently been seen around the area knocking on doors and looking around. Anyway, in an effort to prevent the same disturbing thing from repeating, she resorted to stacking the stairs on her porch, something she thought she'd never do as she lived in a pretty good neighborhood.
So we're really thinking stacking chairs is gonna stop a man from unstacking them.
Rattlesnakes.
Oh,
This could
no.
be disturbing or not, depending on your fear of snakes. But it looks like snakes, especially rattlesnakes, have a thing for doorbells. In 2018,
What?
a Ring camera at a home in Texas belonging to Allison Keller captured this video.
Nah.
Where a snake could be seen hanging on the door by the camera and slithering around. This was around
Imagine
2 a.m.
opening the
at
door
night,
and that's what
she'd
happens.
apparently gotten an alert from the camera that someone was at her door. She wasn't ready for what she then saw. Other incidents include this video from 2023, where a homeowner named Bobby, in a very similar way as Keller's video, received a notification about someone being at his door
That's
in the
actually
dead of
kinda
the
cool,
night, only
not
to
gonna lie.
look and see a snake slithering around the doorbell. He admitted that he was thankful for the camera because if he had walked out and seen the snake, he might have gotten a heart attack. And just for
That's
good
literally
measure,
me.
here is yet another uninvited snake on a doorbell at night. This is from 2019.
I don't know. I'm
Alright,
glad I
guys.
don't live in an area with snakes, bro. Like, I will always say this. How do you live in Australia? How do people live there? Like, I don't get it. Like, Australia is the number one place I'm guaranteed never going to. Guaranteed. I don't care. There's millions of dollars waiting to be made for me. I don't care if I'm offered $10 million. Maybe 100 mil, I'll do it. But, like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, $10 million sounds pretty good though. But the problem with Australia is basically everything there is just like really deadly, and a lot of the most deadly creatures in the world are there. I mean, literally, like the one that comes to mind is Black Widow, but I hate spiders. The fact that you can find Black Widows is horrible. And I've watched these like Australian YouTubers before who they'll be like, oh yeah, I just killed a Black Widow in my house. What? How do you have the balls? How do you have the balls to call a Black Widow? Whatever. It doesn't matter.